This is Out Loud and Laughing.
We are back with another episode, and today we are talking about the ultimate chosen fam milestone, building a legacy and the beautiful, complicated journey of queer fatherhood. John and I are so excited for this one because our guest today has lived about 4 different lives in one. He's gone from the front lines of law enforcement to protecting the First Lady, and now he is tackling in his most high-stakes mission yet, being a dada to a toddler and navigating the wild world of IVF. He is also an author, an advocate, and a man who is proving that you can be tough while being incredibly tender. Joining us today is the incredible Cory Allen. Cory, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. That is a hell of an intro. I don't know who you're talking about, but thanks for having me on.
Cory, don't be so shy. I mean, you are the one with an incredible resume, and we're here to talk about all the great ways that you're adding impact to your own family's life, but most importantly to those around you inadvertently, if you even think so. So thank you.
Of course. And for the work that you all are doing to help get our voices out there. Also very appreciated.
It takes a village, they say. But if it's okay, we would love to start with the resume because let's face it, it's legendary. You were a police officer, then a U.S. Secret Service agent, specifically protecting the one and only Michelle Obama. I think we all want to know, does the training for the Secret Service actually prepare you for the chaotic energy of a toddler? Now, this is coming from someone who's not a parent. So for me, being a Secret Service agent sounds just as difficult. But is the 2-year-old more unpredictable than the motorcade?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So there are like unique parallels that your head is on a swivel at all times. You're certainly not you're driving the car, but you're not in control. Let's see, you are just going with the flow of the chaos that's being thrown your way, being able to pivot constantly with toddler meltdowns or just whatever in your day. So there are actually a fair amount of parallels, with the exception of at the end of the day, after an 8, 12, or 16-hour shift with Michelle on the becoming book tour or whatever, I could hang it up and go to sleep. I don't get to do that anymore. And since he was born and his head was sticking out of our surrogate, we haven't slept since. So that's a little descriptive.
It's true.
But it's true. We haven't slept. We're a Secret Service. I could actually soundly sleep at night, and that's no longer a thing.
We all came into the world the same way. Nothing can be
Also,
unsaid here.
Cory, I
Don't
have
you
to
worry
say,
about
I
that.
have a 4.5 and a 6-year-old via surrogacy. So I'm a little bit ahead of you on the journey from an age standpoint, not to make it like all hard, but the sleep never does come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and our son, he's 20 months. He does actually sleep pretty well at night, but recently he's been waking up at 5 to 5:30, da da
Uh-huh.
da da, from across the hall, which means I'm a light sleeper. Um, but yeah, and it's all good. We have baby
Nice.
number 2. Will be here in about 3 months, so it's another 2 years of
Oh,
just not sleeping. I'll be
listen,
50 or so
it
before
is the
I
chaos
can
is
do that
real. I was
again.
just telling John before this, my daughter is now in kindergarten. And now that they learned the alphabet, they all got to dress up as their favorite letter for their alphabet fashion show. And to be honest, Cory, like it's like that's the shit that I like to live for now, because it's like she was so happy to wear a costume. She's on stage, and I'm like, this is so worth it. And it's beautiful.
We were having dinner with friends last night,
Yeah.
and our son knows his alphabet already. We just started using flashcards. And they were like, we are so
Hmm.
embarrassed because our 4-year-old, she wants nothing to do with. So the 20-month-old was,
Yeah.
anyways, back to the alphabet. Love it.
I mean, I'm curious to hear about like what that transition was. What's it like, right? Moving out of such a high stakes role to this other high stakes role that seems a little bit more personal. What's that transition like?
It was hard to hang up the responsibilities and the
Mm.
nth level of alertness that like doing national security special events, securing, when the Pope was in town in DC or whatever. It's just a different retooling or recalibrating of that, of now, I'm handling logistics for the family. I'm just good at it. I was in the operations section for the Obamas before I left. So you're handling trip logistics for people around the world and equipment going everywhere. So I'm the one packing the baby bag. I'm the one preparing for how many snacks do we have? If we have a breakdown, if there's something happens on the highway, are we good to go? For how long are we good to go? If there's an earthquake, I'm the emergency preparedness one. Even last night for dinner, quick turnaround, I'm making butternut squash, mac with peas, all while trying to get the toddler ready to go. My husband walks in from work and I'm like, all right, like we got to go now. Like, let's go. So those things do translate over. They are very usable skills. You just have to change them
What
a
was
little bit.
Michelle Obama's favorite snack? Was it mac and
I
cheese and
don't
little and puffs
remember.
in
I'll
a
be
box?
honest.
So this actually transitions me is your new children's book, Dada Takes a Trip. Okay, I want to like backtrack a little bit because it was actually born out of a work trip, right? You've spoken about wanting to help men, especially to be more comfortable sharing tough emotions. Was there a specific moment during your time in the Secret Service and your career where you realized you were quieting your emotions, and how did it change once you became a father?
Realizing, a lot of us had to suppress our real identity and who we really are and how we really felt for years and years and years. Um, but the moment our son was born was the final kicking that door wide open. I have to present my true self at all times because he is learning from me. He's picking up these cues, these emotions, learning that it's okay to express vulnerabilities
Hmm.
and like cry in front of him and at daycare drop off on day
Same.
one. I was a mess. I didn't get to the car before I was sobbing of you're
And giving it
taking the
away.
most precious thing in the world that you've controlled for a year, and you have to hand it over to somebody else. And I can't control it anymore. But this book, I had to take a trip from San Francisco to DC for work. And I wanted a way to explain to our toddler, like, why I wasn't going to be there in the morning. And so, literally on the flight, I'm writing it on my phone. And I was like, oh, I'll just make it rhyme. And then a few months later, I was like, you know what? I wrote one book. Why not? Sure, we'll pivot into kids' book and see what happens. And hired an amazing illustrator. Um, and we were off to the races to help fill a need for men who may not feel comfortable expressing like the emotional side of the house that we all have to process. And I don't know, see what happens.
There's the bigger part of the service. There's a bigger part that the book does in service to families. But what does it mean to you, having this direct correlation with your son? What does this mean for you and your family?
I think a lot about legacy because I'm in my 40s and I have very young kids. We're about to have our second one. So I worry a lot about passing away suddenly and not knowing if I've done enough to prove to our kids that they were loved and wanted on this earth more than anything else. And so that absolutely plays a role into why did I create this? Well, it's a way for me to channel those emotions because he's so young. If forbid something happened to me, he may not remember who I am. But now there's something physical and tangible for him to say, no, Dada, wow, like he did love me. And um, one reason I created it
Yeah, I
is
mean,
I worry
I
about
do
that
too. I
stuff.
also, I think something that's really important in my household is, we brought these two kids into a very crazy world. It's even crazier now more than ever. And more than putting them into, communities that are welcoming and stuff. I never want them to feel different, right? For having two dads. And I think that's important. And I think more books and more things like this, like I bought a book for my son about, two dads, and it was about two dads and a son. And he smiled so much and goes, "That's me." And it was just so important for our child to see themselves in a book because so many other kids who have, mom, dad, that whole thing, it's they can see themselves all the time. So you doing this allows children to kind of just, I don't know, see themselves.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
and hopefully other dads see themselves in it too. Like how many of us
it
have
is.
to take work trips? It's a lot. And military families and et cetera, like it can fill, and that's why I
Yeah,
went with characters instead of like actual
correct.
like depictions of ourselves for representation purposes of now anybody can see themselves as the cat or the dog
Aw.
or those are actually our pets, by the way. Um,
So cute.
but
What are
hopefully it
their
translates.
names?
What's that?
What are your pets' names? Who's the cat? Who's the dog?
The cat is Butters, and
Mm.
my husband named her, and Simba is
I
the
enjoy
dog.
Butters. That's cute.
I know, I do too. No shade there. Yeah, I think it's really important what you speak around leaving behind this legacy, especially in our community where family design isn't so traditionally given to us. We used to go out and sort it out. You've been open about this part, this IVF journey, and you and your husband have been, well, congrats on the second little one coming on the way, right? But for so many in our community, the path to parenthood feels like a mountain of paperwork. Let's be honest. It's paperwork, it's science, and a bunch of waiting. What was the aha moment where you felt the stress of the process shifted into the joy of reality?
When he was born.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
'Cause we
all the
had
way up to that point, yeah.
yeah, it was surreal. It because our surrogate is, we're not straight, so we're not seeing the growth. And we attended every OB appointment, but like we weren't touching her stomach and feeling our son kicking, and we didn't have any of that. 'Cause it just wasn't. It was just how our journey was. So it wasn't until he was born that he literally like the physician wasn't even in the room, and like Kai's head pops out. He's just looking at Johnny, my husband. I'm like, excuse me, like doctor, like you need to get in here now because Kai's, and we were helping our surrogate, and we were very much involved. But it wasn't until
Hmm.
that point that it was like, okay, shit's real, and now our son is here, and it turned into this theatric, like, okay, they deliver our son, they immediately like, we took our shirts off to bond, and they were like all standing around looking at us. They're like, it's okay, you can cry now, and we're uh, like we have an audience of people. Like, yes, we waited a real long time for this, but it felt so weird that they expected us to like break down. We did later, but like whole room just was watching us. It's cute, but
You bring up
also a
so
little
many memories for
strange.
me, Corey, because I think you're right. Like we were very in touch with our surrogate. A lot of the appointments, she was very communicative as well, but we don't get that 9 months of bonding like a lot of women who are pregnant. And so when our kids were born, yeah, it shit's real. And even more so, like, of course, we do the skin to skin. That was all amazing. It's when they put us in our own room with our child and they were like, and here's your baby and you have to feed it. And you're like, wait, what? And then, like, after a day, they're like, and you get to leave now. And you're like, wait, the nurses are going to let us go free. So, like, it is a very interesting experience.
And my first night, we all were like, we didn't sleep because my husband eventually, like,
Hmm.
we had two beds and baby between us. It wasn't until like 4 in the morning we stayed 2 nights because we had to drive back from San Diego to San Francisco, which is a long haul,
Yeah.
that we realized that the nurses would be able to like take the baby into the nursery for a few hours and we could sleep. We didn't know that because nobody told us. Uh, um, yeah, it's a lot to overcome. And I help Men Having Babies conference. I'm actually on their panel coming up next month to talk to other dads and other gay uh, people to help ideally break down some of the barriers and provide candid information without scaring them of just what this is and how, with enough resolve and of course resources because it's not cheap. But we can make these dreams come true of that we're entitled to have these dreams
We're
and
entitled
these
to have
wants
them,
and
and
desires.
I'm so happy that you're saying that because one thing that I struggle with is with the lack of resources. Like, there was plenty of, like, like, technical medical resources, but, like, to having that conversation with another gay man about starting a family, and it's more normalized now where there's a lot more people to have conversations about, so it's easier to get access to some of those, I don't know, emotional conversations that Adam and I, my husband, had to kind of do on our own, which was a little bit like just, suffocating. Like, but we got over it and we got through it. And now I'm the same way. I'm like, I will talk to anyone about it. Like, if you want to know, I will give you the raw and dirty of it all because there's a lot of beautiful moments. There's a lot of really hard moments.
Oh yeah. And nobody prepared us for the amount, and our journey was very abnormal through the miscarriages and failed transfers and two egg donor cycles and four surrogates. Nobody prepared us for all that. And that's what I wish they had like, hey, let's ground these expectations a little bit because it was all, oh, pay $150,000 and you're going to have a baby in 9 months, blah, blah, blah. No, some people it is that way. Some, but it was a little too idealistic, if you will, at the
I
onset.
mean, going back to your
But
book a little bit, I know, and we talked a little bit about, the concept of legacy that you kind of mentioned. What's the one piece of non-physical legacy, like a value or a trait that you are most determined to pass down to your children?
empathy,
Good one.
like my, I learned my values from my grandfather. My father wasn't in the picture when I was young. And so my grandfather, World War II POW, shot down over Germany, held in prison by the Gestapo, was this idol of a man of the quintessential like greatest generation, truly. So I learned those values thankfully from him, and those are what I have to pass down and pass down, but also show him by action of what this is and what they mean and why these are not bendable value. Like these are core values that do not change through your entire life, and hopefully I'm able to impart those for our kids.
I love that the source of that is from your grandfather. And a lot of times, and I'm really loving how like the blurred lines are becoming being gay men being inspired by straight people, straight men being inspired by gay people. Like, I really love this world where just a simple thing like empathy, curiosity, compassion can allow men, right? I think that there's something really important there. Break down those barriers so they can just feel seen authentically. Like there's nothing more unmasculine, in my opinion, or unhuman than like faking it all the way. And it leads me into my next question, right? Because we often talk about this armor, this idea of armor that we wear as queer people, but you literally wore a uniform and a badge for years. And so now that you're the author and now that you're like an author and an advocate, what does quote unquote strength look like to you compared to what it looked like from when you were a special agent or when your grandfather was a POW?
You hit on it. Yeah, authenticity, right?
Mm,
Wait, if you're authentic and you own it, I mean, it's one and the same. People relate to that universally. Like, and you share your experiences of the daycare drop off, of crying, and openly talk because that enables other people to feel a little bit more safe in doing so. Um, I don't know, just being who you really are and meaning what you say, and certainly following through with action. I don't know, because the Secret Service, like, that was armor, yeah, but that wasn't who I written. That's not my, that was the outer shell, right? Which is for movies and everything is great. But when it comes to like day to day life of, raising children, that doesn't matter anymore, right? They don't care who you are, who you protected, or you
Yeah.
friends deal, but nobody cares about that. It's passing on the stuff that
It's
really
so
matters.
true. Okay, Corey. So we can't let you go without having a little bit of fun. We want to play a game that we play with all our guests. So since you've gone from Secret Service to the nursery, we're calling this or that edition the Special Agent Dada edition. So we give you two options. No overthinking, Corey. Just the vibe. Give us your answer. A little bit of, explanation if you want to.
It's time for another round of this or that, the unhinged get to know you game.
I'll kick it off. Okay. Scruff or no scruff? That's the question.
On me or somebody else. So
Yeah.
I've got currently scruff. I go either way. So my husband's Asian American, so when he gets a little bit of scruff, I'm like, oh hey. But no, it's clean shaven. So it depends.
I like that. Variety is the spice of life after all, in my opinion. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
These days I'm an early, but I have to be, right? I'm in bed no later than 10, and the other night I passed out at like 8:45 2 nights ago. So these days it's early bird. Now I do use coffee a lot, like through the mornings, but yeah, now I'm an early bird. I used to be a night owl.
Yeah.
The latest cruises, partying out, bar hopping. That used to be me.
Corey,
That
there
ain't
are
me
nights
anymore.
I walk both
Nope.
kids to their rooms at 7:45, and then I walk my ass right to my room, scroll a little bit, and pass out by 8. So you and I are speaking the same language. Yeah,
Pass out
I
in the
know.
nursery in the recliner.
Times
I'm like,
have changed.
I need to
I
go
have
to
a
bed.
question. I'm like, do I want red wine tonight? Because I'm already exhausted. Yes,
You got to have your cocktail at like 4:30. Like, all right, we're home from daycare. We're not leaving.
correct.
Now I want to make a cocktail so we
Okay.
can go to bed
Do
on
you
time.
prefer NYC energy or DC bureaucracy?
San Francisco nightlife.
Heck yes, baby. I love that. What's your favorite bar or like establishment or a regular
Look
go-to?
out. Probably look.
One
Oh
year we were
Lord,
one year we were there for St. Patrick's Day, and a man literally walked
It's
through the
shattered.
sliding glass window, shattered glass everywhere. It was amazing. I'm like, welcome to
yeah,
the
it's
lookout.
they
Look out.
we become really good friends with them. So yeah, the lookout was
Yeah, I mean,
certainly we haven't been in a long
Sure.
time.
yeah, they don't have on-site babysitting. At least not yet. Yeah.
That could be changed. Are you a chest guy or are you a butt guy?
But
Yeah.
I knew that was coming because I saw
Yeah,
you
yeah.
asked somebody
I
else
know
that
it's
question.
an
I was like,
interesting one.
oh, that's a good
It's like
question.
both, but what do you prefer? But okay, do you long day? You actually do have a little bit of time to yourself. Shower or bath?
I don't have time for a bath. I actually don't really like a bath. I'm a shower in and out. My husband will be in there for 30 minutes. I'm like, I don't, whatever, that's you.
In and out.
No, I'm a shower now.
That question gets like either like really visceral reactions or just a really simple answer. And usually it's around, I don't bathe. Like it's like shower only. I love it. Are you a road trip kind of guy or prefer a first class flight?
Mhm.
These days,
'Cause you're
first
alone,
class
it's fun.
flight,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
with the toddler.
First
Because
class helps.
I'm from Virginia, so we're on flights. I took Kai 3 times last year to the East Coast solo. Like, so yeah, I'm not doing a road trip like
And
that.
so
Not,
it's good
not
you're
at
getting
this
them
age.
into,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
it's so
6-hour
true.
flight.
And
in
it's
and of
good that you're
itself.
getting them used to flights because our kids are now good with flights. Like it's easy. They're so much easier. So,
Yeah, he's a great
mhm.
traveler. He's been on, I think, 8 round trip like travels Canada. We're going to Canada here in a month for
Yep,
vacation, baby moon.
nice.
But yeah, he travels really
When you're
well.
putting on the tunes, are you listening to pop divas or classic rock?
Pop divas followed by country. Well, old school country, like 80s, 90s,
Not a
George Strait
Swiftie.
country,
The good stuff.
Shania. And,
Little
no,
Swift.
I
Okay.
do appreciate some Swiftie. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Would you rather be remembered for the bad guys you caught or for the books you wrote?
books without question. Like, no one remembers my career. Like when I retire in 3 years and
You're not counting.
10 months and 3 weeks, nobody's gonna remember it. It's gonna be about the legacy of like what did I leave behind, what imprint have I made, and it's certainly not like why
Okay,
that
it's
bad
the
guys.
season. Do you prefer a
Totally.
Secret Service suit or some sweatpants?
There's nothing wrong with looking sharp in a
Yes.
suit, and that suit better fit. Like, don't be coming on me like my coworkers come in. They'd have pleats and they would have the cuffs on the bottom. Like, retire that suit from 1996. No, like you're on
Yes.
stage at the Grammys next to Michelle Obama. Take your ass back and get that thing fixed.
So great. I imagine you have a closet of really nice tailored suits, 007's status, you know? Are you the cool dad or are you the strict dad?
When I use my dad voice, like he straightens up and he will cry if I come in. If I start with him, he will get literal tears. Whereas if my husband, bless his heart, he gets started, Kai will turn around and be like, "No," like right back at my husband, and I'm like, "Oh my
It's
god, I
so true.
can't."
I'm the one that's stern and cool, and then Adam's kind of always in the middle. So he wants to be cool, he wants to be stern, but it just never really, never really lands. Cory, thank you so much for being with us today, from letting us know about your career as well as the front lines of fatherhood. We're so excited for your book. So thank you so much.
Yeah, where can our
Thank you for
listeners
having me
find
on.
you? You're welcome. You're welcome. Where can our listeners find you? We want to
Purchase the
keep up
book.
with the new addition to the
Yeah.
family and, where can they purchase the book? Yeah.
At author Cory Allen on just about any platform I own, just about all those names, if you will. YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, it's all about the same. But the book is now available for pre-order on Amazon, any bookstore. We're looking for libraries, airports, all that work is being done on the back end right now. So it should be widely available.
Well, I have pre-ordered my
just about
book,
anywhere.
Cory, already. And welcome to the Chosen fam. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And remember, your legacy is built in the small moments of honesty. Stay authentic and keep laughing, everyone. Chat soon.
Bye. This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.